Good morning. Welcome to another exciting episode of Drive with Dom. Today we are looking at the second heat from the first race of the supercharged November Little Championship Series, which is a 3-race series. In our first heat of the evening, in the random group that we were assigned, we placed fifth with a 44 spot 9 something. And we are now in heat 2. We'll see what happens. So one thing that's a little unusual here is that the cart is not making any vroom vroom noises. So the fake engine noise didn't turn on. If you listen carefully, you can hear the rumble of the tires as they're going over the seams of the plywood. Sort of a thunka 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 noise. And that constant high-pitched whining is the Dunlop tires interacting with the painted plywood. So, if you imagine the way a race tire works is they're bald, they're slicks. And as the rubber gets warmer, the outer surface of the rubber sort of doesn't exactly liquefy, but the rubber becomes much more pliable and much softer. With these kinds of tires, these are hard Rental indoor tires. They don't get very soft, but with race tires, they get extremely soft. In any case, as the tire does its work here, the rubber is being stretched, and that squeaky noise that you're hearing is grab release of the rubber. And that high-pitched squeak you hear that when the cart hits the painted bits right there. So the painted bits have a different, grip coefficient than the black bits, although they're all painted, which is strange. The light marks on the track are where the painted surface has worn away. I'm going to guess that the painted surface that they're using, the black stuff, has some sort of grip treatment to it because it is very, very grippy. And also, the black stuff doesn't cause the tires to chirp like the white and blue paint does. Okay, let me pause there for 1 second, go back. So the big change I made yesterday, or rather last time I was here, was taking this entry and doing a much later apex. Basically trying to apex more at the top of the hill. Instead of running the cart down to the center or the inside and holding the shortest tight line up, trying to take a different later apex in and sort of not putting the cart next to the blue and white line until the almost tippy top. So let's take a look. So here I'm doing as usual. The cart is going to be held to the black barrier on the right hand side as long as possible. And it looks like I'm heading down to the apex, but I'm not. I'm trying to go around the corner. So I avoid the apex there. I stay wide of it. I'm starting to come down to it here. And I am down to it basically here at the top of the hill, which then opens that up and goes bang there. So I like that, and it seems to work well. Without any sort of timing, it's really hard to say whether A is faster than B. But I had a very fast run in this heat. I placed second. I think it was 3/1000ths off of first. So, yeah, at least I was quick within the group. So, I don't know what Mark did. He was obviously faster than me. But I think I did a 0.4 here, 49.4. And so did Andres. So Andres got first in both heats. So congrats, Andres. That's a big accomplishment. Andres, if you look on my channel, there's a video called Chasing Andres, which was a fun interaction we had in a race a while ago. I enjoy racing with Andres. He's enthusiastic. He's also very, very, very streaky. He's either extremely quick or he's like, eh. But I think he had the flu or something last time we raced, so he was kind of like, eh. I'd love to have the opportunity to go walk around and see the track from the inside, be able to get the walking tour of how the thing is assembled. So it looks really interesting. You get little glimpses of it on the sides here, how it's all put together. I think basically the red track and the blue track kind of overlap each other. So at some point they will be able to connect these, but it has something to do with some sort of zoning thing, building thing. There's some sort of permit that they have to have, which they don't have for whatever reason. And I believe it's a resolvable situation. But if this is anything that involves state agencies, I'm sure it's something that takes a lot of time. Although we are going on a year plus for this supercharged location now. They're also building simultaneously one of those parachute jump things, where it's like a wind tunnel and you put on a squirrel suit and you parachute in place, which actually sounds kind of like a lot of fun. I cannot overstate how cool this section is. So you really work the kart here. But it's also really fluid if you do it right. Oh, it's so much fun. And this. Yes. Such an interesting experience without the sound. So unbeknownst to me, apparently me and Andres are in a neck-and-neck race for first here. And so I think I end up in first place through lap 11. And then in lap 12, Andres beats me by 3/1000ths. One of those strange battles that isn't happening in front of you. It's sort of happening in the background on a time board that you can't see. That's one of the only things that kind of stinks about this. Like I mentioned before, is you don't really have any data, so you have no idea what's going on. You're just out there kind of okay, I'm just going to do what I can. And you just go and drive by feel. There's no coming around a corner, I see, oh, that was a 44.9. Ooh, 44.8, I have nothing like that. And I guess it's kind of nice. No micron, no timer. It's amazing how karting always seems to just boil down to being smooth. The best stuff is usually the least dramatic. It's a nice lap. So you see the blue and white lines that we passed recently on the concrete? Those are sort of at the beginning or end of each lap. And I think they're meant to be like speed up, slow down lines or like passing zones or something for, the flaggers. But we just passed one on the left over there. So I think there's two of those paint stripe areas per lap. So let's see, there's one down here, I'm pretty sure. No, but it's out here to the left. So there. And then we saw one back there. So I was thinking it would be kind of cool if you could have power boosts when you run over those, just like in a video game, right? So we have a boost button. If there were to be a speed 5 available for 5 seconds when you run over those things, that would sort of change the game a lot. So, figure you get 12 laps, right? So maybe give 6 boosts for 12 laps. That would be fun. I'm not sure where I'd use a boost on this track. Whether it would make sense to add power to the slower uphill bits or to find a place where you're not obviously on limiter and an acceleration zone and use it there. Not sure. One of the guys working at Andretti in Orlando was telling me that the place to use the boost there is going down the hill. The reason being is that if you use the boost while it's going down the hill, it overrides sort of the kart's auto braking that they have on that hill so that, noobs don't go crashing at full tilt into the wall. So in some places, so that's actually kind of clever, Here, there's no auto braking per se. It's just the engine braking is so strong. When you lift, it's almost like braking. So, in fact, I do not brake ever, pretty much while driving these things. If I'm driving to a corner, the braking will be sort of an inverse trail lift because the engine braking is that strong on the electric kart that we're driving. Anyway. That was Heat 2. Just some pounding out of laps, getting progressively faster, and then, of course, I think we finished up, Andres and I, with our very fastest laps in the last 2 laps. It was a fun session. We are racing again shortly, and I will be talking to you guys again after that, so thanks for watching.